Hey there guys, on the JP server we've got some new events, we've got some EX stages for the Final Fantasy Type 0 event, which are these two fights, and then we've got some Silver Crown battles for Starlight Elena and Red Mage Ingus. So I'm going to be doing some or maybe all of these fights in this video, but we're going to start with the Elena fight level 4. This is against Morgana. This is for her Silver Crowns. The missions are Brave Exvius only, 5 turns or less, no deaths, and you can only bring Crystal Warrior units. So I'll show you the list real quick. I'm sorry, for that one. Okay, so you can only bring Crystal Warrior units, and these, let me turn it on my Neo Visions and 7-star. So these are the units you can bring, Warriors of the Crystal. There's more, but there's some that I don't own, but these are the ones that I own. So you can only bring these units to the battle, but if you want all missions, you can only bring Brave Exvius Crystal Warrior units, which is only these units that I own. There's probably more that I don't own, but of the Neos that I own, we can only take a pool of 5 for this, but we can use the old units as well, as we'll show some 5-stars. But anyway, I was able to do all. It's not that hard, honestly. I was doing all missions with this party, so let's go ahead and do level 4, and then I'll show you the team, show you the gear, explain it, and then we'll go to the next fight. Okay, so turn 1. The 5-star Saul is going to use Light Breaker. Honestly, any breaker material is fine. So Tulian's TMR, return Axstar, return Reagan, Edge, just something to break by 85%. Because Cog imperils on his own. So the imperil is not important. So we're going to start in the base form with Cog for Titus STMR, go to the shift for the LB. We're going to LB return Thena. And then we're going to use just 2 units using Scarlet Wave, or Blue Wave, or Chain with a Flood Esper, or Chain with, Black Magic. Just support chaining, basically. And we're going to deal some damage. Okay, we're going to cap up Cog. There we go, some nice damage. Now on turn 1, Morgana is going to do some single target physical, which we're evade provoking with Thena, and some AoE light, dark, and ice magic. So just gear your party in either immunity, like our Saul is wearing immunity. There is some imperils as well. We're wearing immunity even after imperils, and the rest of the party is bulking up. Now on turn 2, she's going to do a fixed attack. So because our Saul is weak, we're going to hide him with Concealing Cloth. If you don't have the Concealing Cloth, that is a limited item. You can jump with Windrake Horn. That's a permanent item. You can buy it from Fat Chocobo in one of the cities, and just jump your Saul, or give him guts, or bulk him up. We're just going to hide him, though. Okay, the support chainers are going to guard. Knights of Grandshell will 150 amplify, refill his LB, and then use a heal. And then return Thena will do a imbue because it resists buffs us, a human killer buff, and we'll do a Shelga. Okay, some more attacks this turn. Single target physical, we evade provoke with one of the units, and then some AoE magic, and then an AoE fixed attack. It's pretty low damage if we broke the boss, and we did. Okay, and that's it. Now we're going to go ahead and SLB our Fina because she's EX3. This is probably not required because we're going to overkill by a whole lot with our 150 amplified Cog, and just go ahead and LB again. And that should be, yeah, the first hit brought the boss to the 10%, overkill by a ton. So if you don't have an EX3 Fina, totally fine, just do her LB. EX2 is all you need, and there you go. And that was our clear. Let me show you the team and the gear and all that, and all the damage was done by Knights of Grandshell. And there it is, our Warrior of the Crystal Saul leveled up to max level, and unfortunately I can't skip this. There we go. And we did all missions on that fight. Little restrictive, as you saw. Very, very small list of units that you can use to get an all mission clear in, but we did it. So Saul is just using, I just stuck on a bunch of ice, dark, and light resist. I don't know the exact amount you need, as much as you can fit. I gave him Concealing Cloth. If you don't have that, Windrake Horn lets him jump. If you don't have that, give him a source of guts. Also, I gave him a breaker material, and again, you don't need Reagan specifically. Any of the ones that do 85 breaks work fine. Because, Knights of Grandshell automatically imperils light by even more. And there we go. Fina is our passive provoke evasion. I gave her status immunity. I don't know if that's required. I didn't give her any resist because who cares? She's just high spirit. The boss does low damage as long as you break him. And there you go. Knights of Grand Shout starts in the base form for Titus STMR, goes to the shift form. We are at 13,000 attack power because he is crowned with a leader skill. The General Fiend is our leader, though. And then his LB damage versus humans and spirits. You know, we are using a good card. We overkilled by a massive amount, so you don't need a this well-geared Knights of Grand Shout. You know, you should be totally fine with just a generic Knights of Grand Shout. Elena, literally don't care. I hit auto gear for spirit, whatever equipped in her, great. And then I gave her Scarlet Wave. Blue Wave works fine. Again, you can dual wield on a Flood Esper, just some kind of way to support chain. And then General Fina, same thing, but she is our leader because she has a 300% leader skill. If you don't have her, you know, you can make Knights of Grand Shout the leader. His is only 100%, but, you know, still. There it is. And oh yeah, as far as her gear, same thing. I hit auto gear spirit and gave her Scarlet Wave. And that's the clear. Let's work on the next one. See you in a bit. Alright guys, next up we're going to be going to the Red Mage Ingus fight. This is similar to the previous one. It is hard locked to crystal units only. No one except crystal units can come to the fight. The missions are no KOs, 5 turns or less, and instead of Brave Exvius, this time the mission is for fire or light element tag only crystal units. So this is the party we're going to use, but real quickly I'll show you the filter. Here is the ones that I own, the crystal units that have the fire element tag. So we're taking General Fina and Machina. And then for the ones that have the light element tag, these are our options. You know, Elena, Cog, Onion, some Finas, and then Warrior of Light. But we're going to be taking this party. Basically the same party we just took, except that we're taking Machina instead of Saul. So the boss's AI is a little different as well. And this one's a demon, by the way, a pure demon. So once again, we're going to use a break with Machina. We're going to use the LB of Fina. And we'll just Scarlet Wave our Elena and our Fina. And we'll use Knights of Grand Shout to cap that. Now the boss does AoE physical. Some of the squishy units are evading. And then he does AoE magic. It seems to be fire, ice, or lightning. Hope the boss does fire, because I geared Elena for fire. We'll see what happens here. And he's doing, it's like fire, perfect. We're resisting fire, excellent. Okay, now the boss was bulky, but we didn't have killers or anything yet. So we're going to use Return Fina to do a, let's see. Nope, not that one. A big single target demon killer on our Knights of Grand Shout. Then we'll just do, I don't know, immunity and I guess a Protectica, while other Fina will do some resist, some killer, and a Shelga. We'll go ahead and hide the Machina. We'll have Elena just guard because she's bad, and we'll use 150 amp, buffing, and some healing on Knights of Grand Shout. And hopefully now that we have a 250 killer and we have a 150 amplify and all that, there's the ice attack. It's a little painful. I'm not really geared for bulk. I just kind of, you know, I used auto gear. If I wanted to be serious about it, I'd gear for actual resistances. But I think we're going to be fine. So we're at 550 killer with the General Fina's buff. And this should be the end of the boss with the final mission. And it is. There it is. Perfect score, or not perfect, perfect score. All missions with the same concept of team. So the only difference is we swapped out Saul for Machina, and I stuck some evasion gear on Machina and Elena, and then I stuck a little bit of fire resist because the first time I did fire, and it worked out fine. And there was all missions. Oh, and Knights of Grand Shout swapped his killer over to demon. So I'll show you the gear real quick, but again, it's extremely similar to what we just used. So Machina, I hit auto gear, and then I tossed on the concealing cloth to hide, the a breaker materia. This is the stuff that auto gear equips. So kind of whatever, and a little bit of evasion, and yeah, he did the break, and then he got out of here. Fina, same thing, passive provoke evasion. Didn't really gear for resist, didn't change the build at all. It was fine. She has decent enough spirit. She was fine. Knights of Grand Shout, Titus STMR, and the shift form. We just swapped him to Demon Killer, and there it is, and there's his setup. You know, he's got his crowns, etc. Elena, here's the build. A little bit of fire resist, a little bit of ice, etc. Here's the setup. I gave her guts just in case, Scarlet Wave, and then she guarded on turn 2, and then return Fina, or not return, General Fina, has, you know, 11,000 spirit, so she was very fine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and upload these two, and then I'm going to start working on the Final Fantasy Type 0 stuff, which is going to be a lot harder because Type 0. See you in a bit.